Hey everybody, welcome to yet another Star Trek podcast. That's right, you heard it. We are, in fact, yet another Star Trek podcast. And we're so sorry that you have to listen to us today, but we're really glad that you're here. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Drew. I'm joined by Majid, my best friend in the whole wide world. What's going on, buddy?
I'm your best friend?
Listen, man, we're on video for the very first time. I feel like I am able to confide things in you in a way that I have never been able to before.
Oh my God. This is big pressure. Oh God, I feel like Swerve. Yeah, we are on video for the very first time.
Yeah.
Everybody gets to see your beautiful background. You're, of course, covering up your beautiful locks of hair with a hat.
Oh yeah.
And then you can see how I live in squalor back here with my TV hung up with the wires not even hidden.
Yeah.
And just dumbbells all over the place.
I actually showed one of our test videos to my good friend Pave, and he complained about those very same wires that you're pointing out there, bud. Yeah.
No, it's everything as a homeowner. I'm not sure if people realize this. Everything as a homeowner is a work in progress. And unfortunately, this office is also a work in progress. I've only just got my wife out of my office. I built her an office off our breezeway at the front of the house, which, by the way, she hardly ever uses.
Isn't that that's lovely, man?
That is the best. But yes, we are on video for the very first time. There are two of us. We are a dynamic duo. Normally, there's a third. And we miss him dearly. And we just got the official news. Brad is actually getting early released from the Thai prison that he's currently serving 8 years in.
Thank God. Thank God.
Yeah, he's getting an early release. I wish him all the best, and he should be back with us soon.
Oh man, I can't wait to see him again.
Yeah,
it's
I heard he has tattoos now.
I bet, how else are you going to survive in prison if you don't have tattoos?
Yeah. He has a tattoo in the back of his neck that says "this side up."
Oh,
and it's an arrow just pointing up.
That's for shipping purposes.
To get him back.
So the reason we're on video for the very first time is because we have been graciously welcomed to the last days of Disco Podcast Festival. And shout out to Strange New Pod, who has done an absolute wonderful job of putting this whole thing together. They are in cahoots with Duras Sisters, another wonderful pod. And we're thrilled to be a part of this because we are going to have an opportunity to talk about one of the absolute greatest parts of Star Trek Discovery. I am super excited about this. I mean, I don't know if you could sense how excited I truly am, Majid. We get to talk about the best captain ever.
Pike.
No, it's not Pike. Try again.
Lorca.
Captain
Jason Isaacs Lorca.
Captain James Jason Isaac Lorca. Yes, that's exactly his name. No. We're talking about Gabriel Lorca here. Gabriel Lorca.
Man.
Go for it.
We're talking about Gabe Lorca.
Yeah.
Played by the ever awesome Jason Isaacs. God, when we first talked about Discovery coming back or Star Trek coming back to TV, it was a big deal.
Oh,
right?
huge!
Because it was the first first Star Trek series since Quantum Leap guy was captain.
Yeah, Scott Bakula. You're right. Yeah, I had to think about his name.
Yeah, even though he was on Star Trek, I'll always know him as Quantum Leap guy.
He can
never home.
Yeah, and I think that's perfectly acceptable. I mean, Quantum Leap was a great show, and
just like the guy who plays MacGyver will always be known as MacGyver,
right? And never for anything else, like
Stargate. Did you know he was in Stargate?
I did.
The guy from MacGyver.
Yeah, but I didn't recognize him at first because he didn't have the hair.
He didn't have the hair or the Swiss Army knife.
Or the Swiss Army knife. Yeah.
Yeah. But no, listen, Jason Isaacs,
Yeah.
was expertly cast as arguably the best part of season 1.
He was
Discovery.
he was my favorite part of it, top
Yeah.
to bottom, because you know what, we hadn't seen a captain quite like him, up to this point, right?
Yeah.
Every captain that we've had in Star Trek has been very clean cut, very by the book. Even Kirk, who, like you and I, we're currently going through the original series on our podcast, and Kirk will bend and break the rules from time to time, but he is not willing to do literally anything that it takes to get the job done, right?
Yeah.
And Lorca really was. He would just go for it, right?
Yeah, Lorca, just a man on a mission. Like literally, you get to the back half of the season, you realize what his mission was.
Well, yeah, I mean, we can get into that in a little more detail, but like, here's the thing: when you're in war, and Lorca was in war, you do what needs to be done, to win the war. And unfortunately, you may have to crack a few eggs across in the process, right?
Yeah. 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 Like there's some parts to war I don't like. Like, I think you're in war with like one of your neighbors where they'll cut their lawn at like 4:00 in the morning when you're just trying to sleep.
Yeah, I've had some issues with my neighbors cutting like my lawn. For some reason, they forget that my driveway is not a property line. But anyway, go on.
They're like, somebody has to do it.
It's not like I don't.
Listen, I got your back.
Thank you.
But you don't hire an actor like Jason Isaacs and expect him to be this cookie cutter, buttoned up, stick in the mud.
Right.
Jason Isaacs has an edge to him. And listen, as a very big Harry Potter fan, seeing Jason Isaacs just in the Star Trek world, it excited me.
How do you think he compared to his role in Harry Potter?
You know how there are some people that are just really good at doing a certain type of character?
Mm-hmm.
Like Bruce Willis is good at the action hero, and Tommy Lee Jones is good at taking charge, and Sean Bean is good at dying in movies. Jason Isaacs is good at being the bad guy.
Yeah.
He can command a room, and he does it with such gravitas.
Yeah.
It was a sight to behold. And I think we should probably also tell people why we're here today is, was Lorca really wrong?
I mean,
did Lorca do anything wrong? Was Lorca wrong?
I don't think he was.
I don't either. Who did he hurt, really?
I would say absolutely nobody.
Right. He didn't do anything that couldn't be undone.
Right.
Right.
I suppose he maybe pushed some of his officers a little too far, like Stamets, like, maybe he made him jump one time too many. And, like, just because he ended up crossing dimensions by sheer accident at that moment,
that was not Lorca's fault. That was Stamets' fault.
Yeah. Clearly.
Yeah. If it wasn't for Lorca, let's get a couple of things clear. If it wasn't for Lorca, we wouldn't have Burnham as captain right now.
Right.
Spoiler alert. Yeah.
Isn't it kind of like a butterfly effect of sorts?
Yeah. A butterfly flaps his wings, and Jason Isaacs is cast as Lorca, and great things happen. If it wasn't for Lorca, we wouldn't have Zaddy Pike.
Yeah.
Um,
We wouldn't
if
have
we didn't,
wouldn't have Saru as captain.
no, we wouldn't. It can also be argued, right? Hear me out on this. Lorca being the catalyst for the events of season 1 of Discovery, he was already a fantastic leader in his own world,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
He became a leader when he took over his doppelganger's position. And not only that, advancement of technology under Lorca improved. We wouldn't have those advancements if it wasn't for Lorca.
Well, that's because Lorca was willing to, capture and imprison species of all sorts of types, and run tests on them, like the tardigrade, for example, right? We wouldn't have come up with a way to sustainably spore jump from place to place instantaneously without those experiments.
Yeah, and listen, I'm not condoning animal testing, but it's a big but. If it wasn't for animal testing, we wouldn't have Herbal Essences shampoo.
Right. And then you wouldn't smell lovely. I mean, clearly I'm not the target audience.
Yeah. Yeah. You're right. You're not the target audience. Not anymore because we don't go to the office together.
Yeah.
Man, Lorca just listen. Let's if we were to put in a line 2 different lists. Right?
Okay.
On one list we have Lorca's war crimes.
Right.
And then we have James T. Kirk's achievements. Would they look so different?
I don't think they would, I mean, I think it would be pretty close. I mean, both of them couldn't stand Harry Mudd, for example.
The original or the one played by Rainn Wilson.
Right. Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
I mean, geez, we could do an entire podcast on that. But yeah, I mean,
we should write that down. We should absolutely write that down.
Okay. I will write that down.
Bonus episode. I already figured out what it was. That's how bad I am at this. The memory's just not there anymore.
Okay, it's gone.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Mud versus Mud. Okay, all right, great. Go. Back on track. Damn. But, Lorca, let's see.
So we were talking about Lorca's, quote, war crimes versus Kirk's accomplishments, quote, unquote, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, look.
You play chicken, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when you're playing chicken with the enemy, it's a matter of who blinks first.
Right.
You know who doesn't blink at all?
Lorca.
Right. Kirk blinked. He blunk. Kirk would blunk all the time. And not once did Lorca blunk.
So let's go back to the moment when Lorca was locked up in the Klingon ship with Ash Tyler and Harry Mudd, right? Remember that?
Yeah.
The 3 of them are all in the same cell. Lorca saved both their lives, really.
Yeah.
If you think about it. So all 3 of them got out alive.
Absolutely.
He saved the Starfleet officer, brought him onto his ship, made him his security chief. He saw something special in Ash Tyler.
He gave him a job. Yeah.
Helped him out.
He found love.
Ash found love. Twice.
And he made some discoveries about himself.
Yeah. I sometimes if you just look inside a little deeply, you can find a little bit more about yourself than you realize.
I really hope people have watched all of season 1 and they can get that reference.
I feel like if they're tuning into a podcast festival about the last season of Star Trek Discovery, there's a high probability they've seen season 1.
Yeah.
Admittedly, it's been a while since I've watched it. I haven't gone back to any of the seasons in quite some time. But I mean, there's a lot that's just so memorable about the season, right? Like let's talk about the way Lorca led the crew. Like
Hmm.
Discovery, that crew just seems so young and confused, and they had Lorca, who is a grizzled veteran, weathered. He's been through the ringer. He knows how to lead a crew, whip them into shape, and get them to perform to his standards. Right.
Yeah.
I remember that scene when he was standing on the bridge ordering combat drills just over and over and over again. And guess what? It worked. The crew performed amazingly.
Yeah. Yeah. Lorca was a fantastic leader.
He was.
Um, he never really treated his crew badly, outwardly bad. You know,
No,
Lorca was a man in love, a man that was out of place, and he somehow survived,
mm,
in a world that wasn't his. Not
right.
only survived, thrived. He thrived in this world. He was promoted, right? Like he got the command of his own ship
Yeah.
in the Prime universe. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he was the originally commanding officer of the Baran. And, when the Baran was destroyed, he took over Discovery. He was the only survivor from the USS
Yeah.
Baran. He
Yeah. Do
destroyed
you
the
know
ship so that his crew wouldn't fall in the hands of the Klingons.
Mm-hmm.
And, he even suffered a debilitating eye injury. So he was even he was handicapped in the Prime
Yeah.
universe.
Yeah. And just gonna put it out there, Starfleet, if you're injured, they're probably gonna sideline you.
Right.
I mean, even Pike got sidelined.
Yeah.
He could have kept captaining,
Yeah.
captaining,
Captain.
Pike could have been a captain.
Yeah.
He could have kept going, but Starfleet decided to bench him.
Yeah.
But they didn't bench Lorca.
No.
Not with his injury.
And when Admiral Cornwell just, tried to, because she felt like he was, psychologically incapable of captaining a ship, which I wholeheartedly disagree with. Look, you're in a war, you touch a guy while he's sleeping, he's going to put a phaser in your face, right?
I mean, that's why I tell my wife just to tap me. Like we have a system of taps.
There you go.
Yeah.
How many taps is the
Um,
phaser in the face?
I can't tell you that. I can't tell anybody that.
Oh,
I just like saying, "Hey, what's the secret password when you got to pick up your kid from school? What's that password?" I can't tell you that. It's confidential. I'll tell you later. But
okay.
I can't tell you on air.
Of course. Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
God,
do you sleep with a phaser under your pillow?
not anymore. It has to be charged at night.
Yeah, these
And the charge is in
these
the side of the room.
these weirdo 2024 phasers are having a USB-C charger on them is great, but they just don't hold a charge anymore.
Yeah, Brad's gonna be so confused when he gets out of prison. He's gonna be so confused. It's it's out there. Everybody knows Brad was in prison. The only thing that would have made Lorca a better captain,
Mm.
and you're probably not gonna agree with me on this, if Lorca had a beard.
Okay, yeah, let's get into this. Like, what is the beard quotient for the mirror universe, right? Like, if you have a beard, does that increase your awesomeness by a factor of 2, factor of 3?
I think because everybody has a beard in the mirror universe,
Mm.
it doesn't.
So it's like
Uh,
if I were beardless, I would be more awesome, is what you're saying.
in that universe, yeah.
Yeah.
In my eyes, I probably wouldn't be doing this podcast with you.
Okay. Okay. Well, we just started doing video today.
Yeah. Your beard looks fantastic. I can't stop looking at you.
Thank you.
Like my eyes keep darting over
Yeah.
on the camera, and I know I gotta look a certain way, but I can't take my eyes off you, man. You are glorious and gorgeous. I love that shirt.
Thank you.
And for people who can't tell, Drew has also been doing 5Ks. He outran a spaceship last month.
Yeah.
Which is pretty epic. As a part of the 5K down in Cape Canaveral.
Mm-hmm.
So just wanted to take time out and tell people about that because you don't always share.
Thanks.
And yeah, I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
But yeah, no, sorry. Let's get back to the man of the 45 minutes, the man of the half hour, Lorca. Listen, I can't. What are the war crimes? Let's see what people think are war crimes that Lorca has committed, and let's see if we can spin it. Let's be Lorca's personal spin doctor here.
Okay.
Let's be. I was going to say his Fox News, but I don't want to get political. But I just said Fox News anyway, so that's twice.
Mark for edit?
No, we're good. If we get canceled, it's fine. At least I didn't go to a Thai prison with Brad.
That's true. So, for starters, he's responsible for imprisoning a number of different species and conducting experiments on them. He's responsible for amassing a large collection of genocidal weapons. Right.
Okay, the U.S. does that though,
and these are accusations. They have not been proven in a court of law. So let me just rephrase that. He's accused of amassing a large collection of genocidal weapons, just like the United States of America does.
Absolutely.
He is accused of possibly destroying the USS Buran unnecessarily.
Nope, he was attacked. He defended himself, and he destroying the ship, destroying a ship to ensure that the technology and secrets do not fall into enemy hands is absolutely the right thing to do. Yeah. It's why, and it's why in Top Gun or in any Mission Impossible movie, once the plane falls into enemy hands, they blow up that ship, or they disavow the agent, or the message that was just sent to Ethan Hunt was just destroyed because information can't get out to enemy hands. So Lorca did the right thing.
Right.
Lorca did the responsible thing by ensuring that that ship did not fall into enemy hands.
Well, he is accused of plotting to kill and overthrow Empress Giorgio.
That one's a bit tougher to defend.
Yeah, because she's kind of evil too.
Yeah, right. So she's the greater of two evils. So if she was more evil than Lorca, then he absolutely had a right to take her out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, look. She was complicating matters by basically murdering everybody in sight, right? So, he didn't want to murder as many people. He felt like it would be better to rule with a soft touch in the mirror universe.
Well, let's not say what Lorca did was murder. Let's say that he pruned. Let's compare Lorca to a gardener. In that sense, you garden, right? I
do.
You can't have a rabbit around your carrots or whatever gardener's plants.
Groundhog.
A groundhog.
I have a groundhog. I'm about to put a catapult back in the backyard.
Oh, I thought you were growing groundhogs. I gave you examples of things to grow, and you're like, oh, groundhogs.
You said rabbit. Yeah.
The rabbit's gonna eat your groundhog. But no, you have to carefully prune out the bad seeds, the bad leaves, and any predators to your garden. And Lorca had a garden that he was trying to get back to. Lorca had a garden, even when he was in the Prime Universe, he's protecting his garden. So let's not call it murder. Unless we're talking about Kirk, we're talking about Lorca, it's pruning. And just getting some bad apples out of the way.
I see.
The CIA does it all the time.
Okay. I can get behind that, I guess.
Check.
Let's talk about some of his romantic encounters, right? Because Lorca was quite the ladies' man. You know,
Have you seen him?
I mean, I'm just saying I would.
He cuts an intimidating figure in that uniform.
Yeah, he looked damn good in that uniform, right?
Yeah.
So it was always implied that he had something going on with Landry, but she wasn't on the ship very long. Unfortunately, Cornwell, obviously, they had a thing going on. Got a little too close. Cat flew a little too close to the sun, and kind of rubbed him the wrong way, and he put a phaser in her face. Right? No big deal, though, right? She would have been fine. He didn't pull the trigger, is all I'm saying.
Yeah, he didn't really prune her.
No.
And then the big reveal.
Yeah.
Burnham.
Yes. He chose her. He groomed her.
Ooh, we can't use the grooming word, buddy. Well, that's a bad word.
To be fair, that is a quote from Georgiou.
Well, Georgiou was a murderess. And we don't want to trust the words of a murderess. So.
Okay, that's fair. Okay, so I take back the offensive term.
Yeah. Oh my God. Speaking of grooming, just really off topic, real quick. Quiet on Set, that new docuseries about Nickelodeon. It's blowing my mind. It is wild.
Really?
But that's it. Yeah. It's, oh my God. It's all over the news right now, but that's it. It's neither here nor there. You said the word grooming. I thought Quiet on Set, but hey, it's fine.
Fair. I'll have to check it out.
So it was, let's call it with Burnham, forbidden love. How's that?
Do you think he had forbidden love for two Burnhams at once? Even though Prime Burnham did not reciprocate that love? Do you think he did you think he had like feelings for her? That's why he went and, tried to seek her out and save her and bring her to the ship, bring her on board Discovery.
I think yes. And the same concept for our multiverse traveler Brad is when you find the love of your life in one universe, that love is multidimensional. So even though this Burnham, were they had the same upbringing? Was Burnham in Mirror Universe still raised as a sister to Spock?
I don't believe so. I'm not sure, but I would probably lean towards a no.
Okay. So, there's certain things that may alter the course of a person's life. So in the case of Prime Burnham, she maybe had a different upbringing and wasn't immediately in love with Lorca, but I know she damn well respected him.
Right.
I know. She definitely respected him. And maybe one day that could have turned into love.
I don't think she respected him enough, though. I've never once heard Captain Burnham say, boy, in season 4, I would never have been captain if it weren't for Gabriel Lorca in season 1. She's never thanked him.
She's just not a very appreciative person.
She is not. She does not have any appreciation for the sacrifices that Lorca made.
Yeah. Lorca made so many sacrifices.
Yeah. I mean,
all in the name of love.
He sacrificed his life.
His eyes.
Yeah. He dove into the sun for her. He dove into like a star.
Yeah, he pruned so many people to make sure that she had a path forward. I don't know why Lorca gets such a bad rap.
I don't know either.
I don't get it. What other war crimes do we have? Sorry, allegations.
Allegations. Yes, that's a good way to put it.
I
mean,
learned that from our lawyer friend on Twitter.
yes.
Hi. Thank you for all the lawyer terms that I'm able to use. It's very helpful. Also, My Cousin Vinny, super helpful.
Yeah, great film. Great film.
Biography. Great biography.
Biography, okay.
Based on a true story. Anyway, what other allegations we have?
I'm trying to think of some. And I'm having a hard time.
Because they're all bogus.
Oh, yes.
Because they're all bogus.
Let's have an exercise here.
Hit me. What you got?
All right. So, Discovery has had 4 captains, official captains, right? I'm not counting Tilly when she was portraying Killy in season 1, because she wasn't really.
Was that really the name? I forgot about that.
Killy, yeah.
Ugh.
So, with Pike, Saru, and Burnham, out of those 3, which one of them do you think would have handled the Klingon War the best? If not Lorca, right? Like, Lorca's not in the picture. So who's best equipped to handle the situation?
Lorca's not in the picture.
Yeah.
Who worked with Lorca the most? Saru, right?
Saru was his number 1.
So I would have to imagine that. So we have Saru. Wait, no, wasn't Pike also the captain? Or are you just talking over the course of season 1?
Well, no, I'm talking like if we took Pike and put him in season 1, do you think he would do as good of a job?
I love Pike. You know, I love Pike.
Yeah.
Pike is my favorite captain in all of Star Trek. And I don't think he would have done a good job.
Mm.
You know why? Because while Pike is an excellent strategist, even himself knew that he wasn't as good a strategist as Kirk.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he knew that. But also, I talked to you before while playing chicken with the enemy,
mm-hmm.
and who blinks first. Pike still blinks.
Pike blinks a lot.
You know? Yeah, Pike will still blink. Pike still has that bit of humanity in him. As does Burnham, even though she's raised as a Vulcan. Saru, not a human, but definitely has a ton of compassion.
Mm. So, and it sounds like you're implying that compassion is a bad trait for a captain.
Misplaced compassion is bad for a captain.
Okay.
So if we think about our previous point about Lorca's love life,
mm-hmm.
Lorca had compassion, but when he's in that captain's chair, he knows how to shut it off. He knows how to manage it.
Yeah. Do you think that he would launch somebody that he loves out of an escape pod? Like
someone that he loves, will he launch him out of an escape pod?
Yeah, like accidentally, quote unquote.
No, because he's not a moron.
Yeah.
Again, we're talking about.
You know, Kirk did that, right?
Yeah, man. The design choices on those other ships where that red button is just right. It's like right here, you know. It's just like, I'm gonna go adjust myself. Oh my god, half of the ship just got jettisoned. You know. Yeah, no, Lorca wouldn't do that. Lorca cares about his Lorca cares about his crew enough that he will make the decisions that no one else can make.
Mm.
And I'm not talking about any other captain or not any other crew member. I'm talking about any other captain.
Right.
So, you know, if we're talking about crew lost as well, I'm pretty sure Lorca's on the lower end of that spectrum.
Yeah. Something else that I want to talk about too is Lorca's brilliance, right? He found a way to chart a course through an experimental plane of existence, mycelial network, right? He charted a course across universes with very limited data. And then in the middle of a battle, found a way to calculate all the information that he needed to get home.
That's amazing.
It really is.
And even during that time, he didn't he never really took his eye off the ball. Like, you know, he, even though he had one goal, he never put his, no one was ever really in danger.
Right.
I don't think. No, I would argue that the steps that he took were mitigated.
Mm-hmm.
Any potential losses, he weighed them, and they were mitigated. Like, he knew exactly what he was doing. It makes him a better captain for it. No, that makes him a better human / captain for it, because that is exactly what he is: a human person,
Human captain.
also a captain, a human captain. Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get all the hate. What any other allegations we could think of? Can we?
I mean, I'm sure there's countless baseless ones, but I'm having a hard time thinking of them. Oh, what about those creatures that he tried to hunt to extinction, right? But they're a protected species, so he couldn't do that, right?
But
That's what they were accusing him of doing, like hunting the whale. Was it space whales?
so that was also a point for him to get home, wasn't it?
Well, that was just a ruse when it came to Mud, boarding his ship, invading his crew. Mud captured the space whale. And then when he allowed the whale to be beamed on board, that's when all hell broke loose, right? If Lorca had been allowed to terminate the whale in the first place, none of this would have happened.
If Lorca had been allowed to live, if he didn't die unceremoniously, I think that there's a few things that wouldn't have happened. The burn wouldn't have happened.
Burn would never have happened.
We wouldn't have the rogue AI in season 2?
Mm-hmm.
We wouldn't have that. And the Discovery in itself, the ship, would not be better off. Well, sorry, would be better off with him as a captain.
How do you think Lorca would fare in the 32nd century?
Can we curse on this? No, we shouldn't curse. Lorca would make you shook your head.
Wow.
Well, when we first started this, I said that we should kind of keep it clean wherever we could.
Yeah.
We failed on a few instances.
Look, I've edited out most of those, but your daughter's older now, so she probably says worse things than we say.
I hope not.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, she's 12, man.
I thought she was like older than that. Wow.
No, she's 12.
Okay. Well, good luck with that.
Thanks. All right. Anyway, Lorca would have made the 32nd century his female dog. Lorca would have grabbed the bull by the horns, theoretically, but it wouldn't have had to get that far.
Yeah,
because Lorca is a master chess player. Lorca sees the chessboard and the whole chessboard 10 moves ahead, and he knows what his opponent's thinking. He is getting into the mind of his opponent, and he's not blinking. He's not blinking, man.
Yeah.
The Discovery would be better off if Lorca were allowed to live.
Yeah.
But, others wanted to seize power, and Lorca had to die for it. And they didn't sign Jason Isaacs to more than one season.
You know what? That was one of the most disappointing things. Like, I'm with you. Like, I've really enjoyed Captain Pike. I think Anson Mount is doing a great job.
God, I love him so much.
But
I do.
we wouldn't have a spin-off, Strange New Worlds, without Lorca, right? And if Jason Isaacs had signed on for more than 1 year, like I really think they could have run with that.
Yeah.
I'd like to think that somewhere out there, Prime Lorca is still alive, still trying to find his way home.
But, let's pause it there. Let's talk about that for a sec. Prime Lorca versus, can we call him Mirror Lorca or Better Lorca? Let's call him Better Lorca. So Prime Lorca versus Better Lorca. Are they on the same level?
Well, we don't know.
We don't know. Right. So assuming that they are on the same level, we would have to imagine that we would have heard of other Lorca when the Discovery actually jumped over to the Mirror Universe.
Right.
We would have heard about it. We didn't. Maybe he was just injured.
There's speculation that he was killed. The theory is that when Better Lorca crossed over to the Prime Universe, Prime Lorca went to the Mirror Universe.
Right.
Where he was like immediately killed. Like his ship was destroyed. ISS Baran was in the middle of attempting to coup against George Joe, and he flipped over, and then the Baran was destroyed. That's the theory.
It's a damn good theory.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have any proof against it or for it, for that matter. But I'd like to think that somewhere out there, we have Prime Lorca just, sitting on a beach, having a margarita, thinking about ways to get back home.
And that's why Better Lorca will always be a Better Lorca. Because Better Lorca wouldn't just be waiting for things to happen, bud.
Yeah.
Better Lorca is a go-getter.
Yep. I bet she doesn't drink margaritas either.
No, he doesn't. Too many carbs. Not going to fit into a uniform.
Well, he's got those fortune cookies on his desk, so that's a little weird.
I mean, we're all allowed one cheat day.
It's a lot of fortune cookies for a cheat day. Can you imagine? I wonder if he just like opens them up, looks at the fortune, and then just throws them on the ground. It's kind of like going to Texas Roadhouse where they give you the peanuts.
They don't do that anymore, apparently.
Really?
Yeah, they don't throw peanuts on the ground.
I mean, I was there a couple months ago, and they certainly did.
I wonder if you went to just a dirty Texas Roadhouse.
Well, it was
a bad one.
It wasn't Waterbury, so that tracks.
Oh gosh! Shout out to Waterbury.
Yeah, dirty water.
Oh god, my car automatically locks my doors when I pull into Waterbury.
All right, so
can I say that?
You can say anything. You can say anything you like. All right, so let's make our final pitch. I think for Lorca being the best captain of Discovery.
I'm ready.
Go ahead.
Oh, I thought no. I mean, I'm ready to talk about it.
Oh, okay.
I thought.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, no. All right. We'll do this collectively, right? So, first and foremost, right? When you have a captain of a ship and he's captaining a vessel that has a secret weapon with the spore drive, you need somebody that is going to be willing to do anything and everything at all costs to protect that item, right? And that is Captain Gabriel Lorca. He was committed to winning this war, no matter the cost. And if that meant sacrificing, pruning a couple of bad eggs out of the carton, then so be it. But you need to get rid of the bad eggs before you make your omelet, right? Because otherwise the omelet's going to be kind of nasty. And then maybe some of those eggs have to be broken in the process too, even the good ones.
You got to break eggs.
You got to break eggs, and you got to make sure that you have good eggs in the first place. Yeah. So, he pushed the crew to their limits and even a little beyond. He's like, you know what? I know you guys. I've seen you. I'm not going to ask for 100%. I'm going to ask for 125%. in 12-hour shifts every day until we win the war.
Yeah. Lorca was, listen, not only did Lorca, let's take a second here. I love that. I felt that right here in my upper boob area and left side where my heart is. That was beautiful. I don't know how I'm going to top that. I won't be able to.
Speak from the heart. Professor Love.
Speak from the heart and you're too late. No, that's a different song. So Lorca is the best damn thing to happen to Starfleet. And Starfleet is worse off without Lorca. If it wasn't for Lorca, if Lorca had stayed around, the Discovery would still be in the conversation.
Still being in the 23rd century.
It would still be in the 23rd century. It wouldn't have gotten wiped from the history books. And if it wasn't for Lorca, Michael Burnham probably still be in prison.
Yeah. And nothing. Yep. We'd only have one season of Discovery. We'd never have anything beyond that because Burnham would be in prison and her story would be over. The end.
Yeah. I don't even listen. Here's how far I'll go with this. Lorca wasn't even the main character. Sorry, Burnham is not even the main character of Star Trek Discovery Season 1. Lorca is. He's the secret protagonist that no one wanted, but we all deserved.
That's right.
You don't cast someone like Jason Isaacs to play a cookie cutter role. He has grit. He has determination. Lorca kept Starfleet's proprietary technology within Starfleet by destroying the ship to not fall into enemy hands. Lorca, even though he did some pruning, he did it for the right reasons. He didn't push anyone's buttons he didn't have to. He did not kill indiscriminately. I would go on to argue that Lorca did whatever he did for love.
That's beautiful.
Just like Aladdin did it. Aladdin did it for love, and so did Lorca.
And so did Meatloaf.
I love Meatloaf. Oh! Meatloaf. Yeah, but Meatloaf wouldn't do that. Lorca would.
Lorca would.
Lorca would. Yeah. Meatloaf would do everything for love, but he wouldn't do that. Lorca would.
Yeah. Oh, I gotta figure out how to make that into a song now. That's just great. Thanks.
It's pretty easy.
Thanks for that.
Thank you.
Is there anything else that you'd like to add as far as Lorca goes?
As far as Lorca goes, no.
I think we've covered pretty much all the bases, right?
Not just covered all the bases, but I think that anyone who was a hater of Lorca's actions, whoever deemed Lorca's actions as illegal, now says, oh, maybe he wasn't so bad. Maybe he was right. Maybe I'm going to give, his actions in season 1, I'm going to look at him under a different light.
Yeah.
Yep. Lorca wasn't so bad. The same conversation we're having now about Lorca is the same that people had after Thanos snapped away half the universe. We should create a subreddit. Lorca wasn't wrong.
Lorca was Thanos. Lorca versus Thanos. Who would win in a fight, Lorca or Thanos?
I mean, clearly we know the answers. It's going to be Lorca.
Yeah. He would probably, Lorca would imprison Thanos in the same force field that the tardigrade was in and make the two of them fight.
He would make Ant-Man go down to a small size and go up Thanos' butt, like all the other theories said.
There you go.
Yeah, because, Lorca is just the guy. He knows how to get things done.
Yeah.
you know?
Well,
But
I'm proud to call Gabriel Lorca my captain. But we'd love to know what you guys think. Tell us what your favorite Lorca moments are. Do you agree?
And tell us, did we convince you to love Lorca like we love Lorca and Lorca we trust? Ooh, hashtag and Lorca we trust.
Love it. I love it. You're going to have to write that down as well.
I already forgot it.
Of course you did.
Can you write it down for me?
I'm writing it down now. Hey, so everybody, we really want to thank you for tuning in. And we really hope that you agree that, Lorca was not wrong to do any of the things that he did. But we'd love to hear what you think and what your favorite Lorca moments were and whether or not you agree with us. So, stop on by. We've got all kinds of information regarding our show available at our website, www.yetanothersTpod.com. We've got Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. We use about a third of it, but it's there. And you can find us at Yet Another ST Pod on those as well. Of course, the best place to interact with us is actually in our Discord room. And if you've been looking at the scrolly thing at the bottom of the screen, you'll see a bit.ly link for that. I tried to make it easy for you. Well, now you're pointing at a line that's blank, but it'll come around again. And go ahead and just... You're gonna be waiting a while because now we're at the end of the scroll, but it has been passing there throughout the show, and so we'd love to have you come and join us and talk about Star Trek and show us pictures of your pets. Like, we have an entire chat room just for dogs, cats, fish, tardigrades, you name it. Right, they're all there. Tribbles. I mean, we have a thread for just check out my Tribble. Isn't it cute? I gave it some food yesterday. I hope I'm not in trouble. So, in any case, shout out one more time to everybody that's involved in the Last Days of Disco Pod Festival, especially Giraffe and Julian for coordinating this whole thing. You guys have been just absolutely wonderful, and we really just feel so gracious to be a part of this big thing. Discovery Season 5, the last season of Discovery, is right around the corner, and I have mixed feelings, man. Like, without getting into it too much, this show has had some ups and downs for me, but I'm sad to see it come to an end.
Yeah. It's an important show. Listen, having a female black lead in a Star Trek show is something that Nichelle, oh my God.
Yeah.
Nichelle
Nichols. Yeah.
Nichelle Nichols would have only dreamed about.
Yeah.
So it's important, it's an important milestone in Star Trek.
If I'm not mistaken, she had an opportunity to meet Sonequa Martin Green at the premiere.
Yeah.
So, that was a big torch to pass. And I think Sonequa Martin Green has done an excellent job carrying that torch.
Yeah. Yeah. She really has. We also, Doug Jones.
God, oh my
Doug
God.
Jones.
Be still my heart.
Doug Jones. Yeah.
Love Doug Jones.
He hasn't done a bad role ever.
No.
And Jason Isaacs has never done anything like this.
No.
I think this is his first TV show.
Yeah, I think you're right. And, he's a part of Star Trek legend forever. Yeah. He will always, even if it's amongst a small crowd, even if he has greater success with Harry Potter and other films, and people look back at his career and they don't think about Star Trek at first. His name is always linked to the first chain in the building blocks of an entirely new franchise.
Yeah.
Which spawned a spinoff, Strange New Worlds, right? And really just it spawned a movie and actually 2 series now because Starfleet Academy is coming out.
Starfleet Academy, yep.
They did the Section 31.
66. Section 31, okay.
Yep, Section 31 movie is just finished production. So, this Discovery is responsible for everything that we have in Star Trek right now. Otherwise, the last thing we would have had would have been, TV-wise, Enterprise and the J.J. Abrams movies, and that probably would have been it.
I love the J.J. Abrams movies.
I do too. They're great.
I do. I love them.
They're great.
Zoe Saldana. Oh, God.
Yep. Anyway, well, before something inappropriate happens on this webcam, why don't we wrap it up? But just one more time, thanks everybody for tuning in. We hope you enjoy the festival and come on by and say hello. Hope to see you soon.
Yeah, love it. Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Bye.